Hi guys! So basically I have some pretty exciting news for this year and I want to go ahead and share it. Anyone who is on my public YouTube, Facebook page will already know a lot of what I'm about to say, and anyone who is on, well, the few YouTubers that are on my personal Facebook will know even more details about what I'm going to be explaining here, but I just wanted to put it out there because I'm really excited about it. I'm really looking forward to this year and just different things that are going to be happening and a new path that I'm sort of going on and all that. Since pretty much midway through 2010, since and up until like the past 2 years, I've just made like so many mistakes and I have so many regrets and just basically have had a really shit last couple of years. And so now I just kind of feel like 2013 is my year. I'm finally going to be doing something for me and something to, I guess, better myself and create a better future for myself and my children. And it's something that I've been wanting to do for a pretty long time now, but because I had the accidental pregnancy with Kayla, and then, you know, obviously she's only 18 months now, so I've obviously wanted to be at home raising her and all that. So what I had originally wanted to do has sort of been put on the back burner whilst she has been a baby, but now she's getting older and I just feel like my time has finally come and it's time for me to sort of just do something for me, sort of thing, if that makes sense. Like, you know, she's a year and a half now and I just feel like, yeah, I just feel like the time's right. So basically, last year I sat the STAT test, and for anyone who doesn't know or who isn't in Australia, it's basically a test that you go and do to get into uni. Pretty much adults take it, or I think anyone over 16 or 18 can take it. I think over 18. I'm not sure about all those specific details. I only knew why it was needed for me, and that's because I left school over 10 years ago, and also I didn't complete year 12, so therefore I didn't get a well, at the time it was called a TER, now it's called an ATAR. So I didn't get that score for uni, and even if I did, it's been so long since I was at high school that wouldn't even apply anymore. So I needed to sit the STAT to gain entry into uni, basically. So I did that last year in I think it was September. And then I put in once the applications opened, I put in my uni preferences and I put in a few TAFE courses as well, just because I wanted to pretty much cover a bunch of bases just to ensure that no matter what, I would be studying something at least, and studying this year so that I could, you know, just start on my way. Like, even if it was just a small stepping stone, as long as it was something that was going to be getting me in the direction that I eventually want to get to, if that makes sense. So I've already received 2 offers. I got them last year. Yeah, it was going to have to be last year because there's only 5 days of this year, isn't there? My first offer was from TAFE, and that was for Certificate 3 in Allied Health Assistance. I pretty much don't want to do that, but I put it in as a preference just because it's still working in the health industry, and so to have completed that course would look really good. I should put it out there. My main goal, like where I want to end up, is doing Bachelor of Midwifery. I want to be a midwife, so anything basically in the health industry is just going to give me more experience and just give me a better sort of ranking in terms of uni and in terms of finally getting entry into Bachelor of Midwifery. So yeah, that course I was offered, but yeah, I really don't want to do that because I mean, if it came down to if that was my only option, I would definitely do it. But that specific industry is not what I want to do, even though it would help me get into midwifery. But I actually got an even better offer towards the end of last year, and that was foundation studies, which is a uni course. And it's basically, like, it's nothing full on. It is basically there to help people sort of like gain knowledge in what the uni experience is like, you know, learning effective study methods, all that sort of thing. It's basically just a stepping stone into uni, sort of like a preparation course, I guess you could call it. And from there, from that course, upon successful completion, I will be straight up eligible for a whole list of courses, which I will list. Okay, so basically, upon successful completion of this course, I am guaranteed entry into the following undergraduate degrees: arts, business, environmental management, engineering science, government and public management, information technology, science and theology. And then as far as all other courses, how well you do in foundation studies sort of determines whether or not you can get into other courses. So if you do really, really good, then you're obviously going to have a higher chance of getting into any other course. And some of the other undergraduate courses are behavioural science, business, commerce, education, laws and legal practice, nursing, social work and social planning. So basically what this is going to mean for me is that I'm also waiting on, I've got a whole bunch of other preferences. Like I've got my first three preferences for university are Bachelor of Midwifery, and then my fourth is Foundation Studies at a different university, and that will be the Health Sciences strand, so that would obviously get me straight into nursing midwifery. And then my last two uni preferences are Bachelor of Nursing, which I really don't want to do nursing, but it is a lot easier to get into nursing than it is midwifery, so if I have to go that route, then I will. And then the other TAFE courses that I have as preferences, number one is Certificate 2 in Women's Education, and second preference is Certificate 3 in General Education for Adults. And then the third one is, of course, the Allied Health, which I've already been accepted into. So yes, back to my current offer, which is the Foundation Studies. Basically, so far this is the way I'm going to go, but I'm obviously waiting for any more offers to come up in the next month or so. I'm probably, I would say that if I was going to get any other offers at all, it would maybe only be 2 or 3. I highly doubt I would get into Bachelor of Midwifery or Bachelor of Nursing. I just don't think there's any way I'll get straight in. Pretty much with midwifery, you need to have like an awesome score to get in. I think the ATAR was, it's 90 something, so I mean you've got to get like top marks to get straight into the course. But anyway, yes, with the Foundation Studies, basically I'm just going to do 1 semester of that, and then after I complete that, the course from, well, the undergraduate course from the list that I read out earlier, I'm going to choose Bachelor of Arts. So how this all works is I do 1 semester of Foundation Studies, and then I'll do 1 year of Bachelor of Arts, and then after that 1 year, depending on my GPA, I can either go straight into midwifery or straight into nursing. Now if I get a GPA of 6 or above, I can get straight into midwifery. If I get a GPA of 4 or above, I can go straight into nursing. So you can see there's like a massive difference in what your scores need to be to get into each course. Nursing is like like, your score does not need to be anywhere near as high as midwifery. Midwifery is highly competitive. There are basically not a whole lot of positions within the courses. There are only 2 unis in my area that offer midwifery, whereas nursing is offered like everywhere. And there's obviously a whole bunch more placements in each university, so there's a lot more opportunity, I guess, to get into nursing. But anyway, so if I get the GPA of 4.0 or higher, but less than 6.0, then I can go straight into nursing, and I would need to do that for 3 years. And then after completing those 3 years, I would then have to go on and do Bachelor of Midwifery for 1 year. And then I could straight up go into working as a qualified midwife. Yeah, so with the Bachelor of Arts, you get a choice of majoring in either 1 or 2 sequences. And for mine, I think I'm going to choose criminal law and psychology. And then you have to do a minor sequence as well. So I'm a bit uncertain on what I might like to do for that. But what I have got listed here is American Studies, Australian Studies, or Women's Studies. So one of them. And yeah, that's basically summed it all up. With all the other preferences that I've put in, I mean, obviously if I got offered Bachelor of Midwifery, which is not going to happen, I did not get a score high enough to go straight in, then obviously I would go with that. If I got offered nursing, I really don't know that I would go with that. I think I'm pretty happy to be going with the foundation studies first, just because it's going to be, like, I'm not just getting chucked in the deep end and like jumping straight into this full-on course. I'm being put in a course that's going to teach me and sort of show me what uni life is going to be like before I fully go straight into a full-on course. So I think that's the best option for me personally, because I haven't been studying since, well, I left high school in year 12, so that was like 2002. So a long time ago, so I'm very, very obviously out of practice with studying, and you know, I obviously haven't been using my brain as intensely as you do during study, so I need to sort of get back into that mindset and build up my brain, I guess, whatever. Just, yeah, I definitely think this is going to be my best option. And also because with midwifery, it's a full-time course, pretty much, like it's full on. And I still think Kayla is too young to just be put in daycare like every day. So I'm really not ready right now, and I'm still breastfeeding. So I'm really not ready right now to be jumping into a full-on, like, crazy, hectic study schedule. So yeah, starting with the foundation studies for 1 semester, then going into Bachelor of Arts, and then depending on how I go in that, then either going into midwifery or nursing. I think that's the best option for me, because that's a year and a half before I start, you know, a degree. So yeah, and by then, you know, Kayla's gonna be what, 3? About 3 by then. So yeah, I think that's a good age for her to, you know, start spending more time maybe in daycare, like around other children and all that. As for what I'm gonna do with her while I study this year, my nan is going to be moving here and staying with us. She said she'd like to stay here for maybe about a year, so she'll be looking after Kayla, so I don't have to worry about daycare or, you know, having to pay for it or anything like that. But I also have a close family friend, I guess you could call her, that has a family daycare centre, so I can also put Kayla in that if I needed to, or if, you know, my nan decided not to come, or, you know, next year after she's gone home. So yeah, that's pretty much what's going on with this year for me. I am super excited. I can't wait to, just for the whole experience really, to be starting on my journey of, you know, getting a career, and, you know, not just being like a 30-year-old checkout chick, which is fine if that's what you're doing. It's not for me. It's not what I want to do. I want a career. I want something that I can be proud of, that my children can be proud of. You know, I want to be able to support us and be able to buy us everything we need, and buy a new car when I need one. You know, I don't want to be relying on like government assistance and just all that crap, basically. I want something more for my life and for my children's life. And yes, now is my time. I can finally start doing that, so I am really, really excited. And also just sort of getting out and having more adult interaction. Like, obviously I've got at least one child with me 24/7, so, you know, I want that adult interaction. I want the adult conversations. I want to meet new people, and yep, I'm just gonna really enjoy the whole experience. And so I guess that's it for now.